Welcome to my second interview with Lee Romanov, self-made internet millionaire and creator of the Income Activator website building system that makes you websites that make you money. To inquire about getting your own website, you can click on the link in the description of this podcast or YouTube video, and you can also sign up for my newsletter at joshgotit.com, joshgotit.com, a website that she made me to help me promote her website building services. It's all very complicated, but I guess not really complicated at all. This is the Celebrity Josh podcast, and I'm your host, Josh Rackless. I might change my name. I don't like my name. I want a new stage name, but I'm Josh Rackless for now, and I'll also come up with a new name for the podcast, but it's Celebrity Josh for now. In my last episode, where I interviewed Lee, I did a 10-minute introduction to how I met her and how she made her millions. You can go back and listen to that if you want, and now I'll tell you what happened after that episode. So actually today is October 26th, 2020, and I'm just getting around to posting my interviews with Lee. The first interview was recorded on October 24th, 2019, and then my second interview, which you're about to hear, was recorded on October 29th, 2019. So that's why you won't be hearing any reference to the global COVID-19 pandemic, because it had not happened yet. So I think the timeline of me talking to Lee was that I was in Ottawa on October 24th, and we did an hour-long chat about, I was just picking her brain again on how to make money online, and then I started telling her about all the ways that I have failed to make money online, and then afterwards, I talked to her on the phone, I think, and we were talking about maybe putting together some kind of radio show, and she noted that you can actually buy radio time, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I would talk about on the show. Like, I'm not an expert on making money online. I'm an expert on not making money online. And she's like, that's hilarious. We could do radio shows about how not to make money online. And then she said, okay, your assignment now is to come up with a list of the ways you have not made money online or lost money online. And we'll talk about that in our next chat. So I wrote down a whole bunch of those, and that's what we discussed in the interview you're about to hear. And for this interview, I was now in Toronto. I was house sitting at a relative's house. It was actually, well, I don't want to say mansion, but it was a very nice house. So I was feeling like, oh, this is what it would be like to be very wealthy, to be in a nice house. And so I was all pumped up to make money, and we had a great interview, as you'll hear. And then she said, okay, now your homework is to go and promote the Income Activator services. Like, imagine that, because I'm really good at advertising. I write commercials. That's been my career. And she said, imagine you were the client. What would you do for you to promote this, and just spend the next week doing it, and we'll touch base. And that was my assignment. And I basically did not do anything. As you can see, it's a year later. I was supposed to post these interviews, I guess. And that was going to be the beginning of me promoting her services. And then I don't know what happened for the past year. I know the pandemic started in March, but that's not really an excuse at all, because there's been even less to do in the world. I could have just been sitting here doing this online. You know what? I've been living with my parents in their basement for the past 6 months, I guess. And, it took me a while to get internet in the basement. I finally got a Google Nest mesh Wi-Fi system just a few weeks ago, and my iPhone was broken, so it wasn't even getting Wi-Fi for the past month or two, and then a friend gave me his old iPhone. So that's kind of what's delayed me. I haven't really been able to work, but I finally set up an office, a folding table in the basement, and I've got Wi-Fi down here. That's basically my office. So I'm finally getting around to posting these interviews. Again, this was recorded over Skype, but we weren't on camera. I don't know why she didn't want to be on camera. She never wanted to be on camera with me, and I thought maybe that's her thing, but I see on YouTube that she's on camera for other people's interviews. So, well, whatever, I won't take it personally. So anyways, that's why if you're on YouTube, you're not seeing our faces. Although I think in this one I was sharing my screen so you could see the list I typed out of all the ways I have not made money online. So that's a little visual treat for you, but if you're listening to this as the podcast, you're not missing anything because I'm reading what I wrote. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, wait, I just remembered. During this interview, we broke it up into different pieces. Like, after we chatted for a while, she said, okay, let's stop that, and we'll talk again in a few minutes and start another episode. So I can't remember what the point was. Like, we thought this was going to break down into 3 episodes, or she just wanted little breaks. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I should post these as individual episodes, but that seems like a lot of work, and it might get confusing. Like, if I'm posting them as different podcast files, but I got to give a little introduction to explain it whatever. So I'm just going to blend them all into one super long interview now, which you can listen to if you're on a long car ride, or really you can listen to it anywhere, or you can stop it and then keep listening. You know what? I think you can figure it out. Okay, here we go.
Gosh, let's talk about, what was it? How to lose money online or how not to make money online?
Yes, that yeah, I was trying to figure out. I googled that to see if it was taken, like how to lose money, and there is a podcast called How to Lose Money, so I think they talk about similar things, but there isn't one called How to Lose Money Online. That seems to be my specialty. But or how to not get rich online. I was googling all the .com options.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like the well-kept secret. I mean, everybody throws money, and you listen to that recording that I sent of this one guy who spent $15,000 on an e-commerce site.
Right, right. Who was that guy? I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
What
I know. It's just this is what they do. I mean, webmasters are good at creating a pretty looking website, but what happens is that you might as well hang the pretty little website on your wall because it's not generating you any online revenue.
Yeah, I think the way you've said it or other people have said it is like it's, basically like an online brochure so people can read it, but there's no way to make money from it. Just to remind people who maybe haven't heard the previous episode, we were talking about like what could I do a show about, and I'm like, I'm not an expert on making money, and you're like, you're pathetic. And I said, yeah, well, I mean, I know lots of ways to lose money online, and we were like, yes, that's it, how to lose money online. That should be the name of the show. And I guess the idea for this show would be, yeah, I talk about ways I've lost money so people can avoid those mistakes, but then we'll also talk about ways that you hopefully can make money online.
Yeah,
Um,
and you are, as you said, the Charlie Brown of, not making money online.
exactly. And I actually, well, I wrote this list for you before, but then I had another experience yesterday that I can add to the list as well. I did a call with, well, there's this guy, Timothy Psykes,
Uh-huh.
who's famous for having turned his $12,000 bar mitzvah money into like 5 million, and now he teaches courses on how to do this. And there's something called the Timothy Psykes Millionaire Challenge, and you register to possibly get in, and then they review your application for a week, and then they call you. And so he called me yesterday, and it was an hour call. It wasn't him; it was one of his guys who just does this, recruiting people. And yeah, at the end, I'm like, well, what does this cost? So it's $6,500 US for a year of. I mean, it's a big time commitment. You got to watch 150 hours of DVD lessons, and then they do webinars with you 3 hours a day, basically every day. So yeah, and for a year, and then by the end, and you're only supposed to trade little bits, and by the end, hopefully, be making more or whatever. But it's not supposed to be instant millionaire status. And then he's got 4 students who have made millions. So there's 4 of them, and they join the webinars. But who knows how many hundreds of people have taken the class? So
Or thousands, yeah.
yeah, although if you do thousands at $6,500 a lesson, then you're making millions. So it seems
Yeah.
like I think I was Googling whether it's a scam or not, and people are like, you got to work at it and this and that. But yeah, I think it said somewhere that yeah, he makes his money from trading. He doesn't do much trading anymore. He makes a lot of it from his lessons. So it seems like all of these self-made millionaires then go into teaching classes, and that's what they do. That's why I was thinking yesterday, or this week maybe going to Ottawa for a day for Dean Graziosi's millionaire mentorship or millionaire mindset workshop, where it'll be like an hour 45 minutes lunch, and then you get a free copy of his book, and I'm sure he's trying to sell you his courses, or there's some point to it, but
What
yeah,
did he
well,
do? What was his, what did he luck in on?
I'm not even sure. Like, I've watched his videos and he just talks about making millions, and I don't
Yeah.
I don't know what he does. I think it might be real estate. Like, he does videos with Tim, or what's the guy's name? Tony Robbins and stuff, who says, "Oh yeah, I recommend this guy and he's your guy." I'm just Googling him here now. Dean Graziosi's Top 7 Habits, Turn Your Ideas into Reality. Okay, where is it? American Investor. Dean Graziosi is creator and founder of Motor Millions and Think a Little Different, both of which are successful business opportunity infomercials that teach people how to make money with cars and real estate.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that's, I guess, how he's made money. I don't know what with cars and real estate. I don't even know what that means. Entrepreneur, businessman, author, multiple 9-figure companies. So I guess he's kind of like Tai Lopez that somehow came up with online businesses. Oh, where is it? he knows how to create success. From extremely humble beginnings, Dean started with a firewood business in high school to a collision repair shop and his first real estate deal before the age of 20. From there, he went on to create a multi-million-dollar real estate business, became a multiple New York Times best-selling author, 16 years every day on TV, and is one of the most watched real estate and success trainers of our generation. He maximized the success and profits in each of these endeavors, along with his evolution, and his businesses and brand have generated nearly $1 billion in revenue. Dean is obsessed with sharing the success habits learned along this journey with the world. How do I mute this call? All right. Anyways, so we don't know what. And there's a picture of him with Richard Branson and him with Tony Robbins, and
it's really those kind of things are, he obviously started very young, made lots of mistakes, had lots of businesses, and he worked really hard and he was very focused and he got some breaks. And then to reproduce what he's doing is really, really hard. And he knows that because he knows the sweat that went into it. So now he's making his money by just selling courses on, from what I can figure, a dream of people wanting to be like him without the years of, sweat and toil and investment and trial and error. And this is what I find with a lot of sort of the gurus, that they have, had a fortunate twist of luck. They focus, they double down on it, they work really, really hard. I mean, even Brendan Burchard. Brendan Burchard, did a lot of work to create his business. And then, what he does, what his business is just selling you the opportunity to create your own courses and CDs. And, that's a lot of work, because not only do you have to create a point of view, create a CD, create a book, create a course, but then you have to go in and sell it for, $3,000, $10,000, $12,000, and that's not easy. And that's not really even making money online. That's just selling, so it's pretty crazy. And then, of course, the social media companies, say, oh yeah, let's, here you can make money on with us. Why don't you just give us your content, and and then they end up making money from leads, like, your typical one. Let's jump into this Facebook thing. Facebook monetization is a perfect example. Facebook would have your content and your visitors to click on their advertiser leads. They would be nowhere. So they need two things. They need your content and your visitors. And all they did was make an arrangement with an advertiser to pay them per click. And that's the key, getting a one-on-one relationship with the company that is going to pay you for leads, not sales. You cannot depend. It's really hard to depend on, affiliate companies to pay you for sales, especially when you can't track it. And that's another whole bag of worms. But bag of worms, box of worms, ground of worms,
can of worms.
Thank you. I knew you could come up with something. So let's look at Facebook for a second. Facebook monetization. They need your content and your visitor traffic. And then now what you're saying in this profile is that you are trying to get some revenue through Facebook's ads. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, here I'm gonna find my email from Facebook, because I'm not even sure. Like I'm on the Facebook creator newsletter. Where is it here?
Yeah, while you're looking at it, I cannot even believe that Facebook expanded to, now marketing directly to people, as opposed, because they started off keeping all the ad revenue. So they're taking a page out of YouTube with, their YouTube's false promises to pay you per ad, but then YouTube can, just decide to demonetize you because your content isn't right for their, you know, their narrative, their selective narrative, and anybody, talking about, politics or religion or natural healing, may not match up with their narrative, but
Yeah.
just completely monetize you.
Oh yeah, for all these people I follow who talk about Star Wars videos or whatever, but they do it like in a non-politically correct way. They're all talking about being demonetized, and that's the thing. If you put your whole business into this, then they can take it all away instantly. So here, I'm just forwarding you the email I got. Okay, and then so yeah, I got an email. Facebook for creators: new ways to take your ideas further. Published Instagram from your desktop. Your next adventure starts here. Okay, intro to monetization. So if I click on here, it says you've been building and fostering a loyal community around your content. Now it's time to earn money. Okay, now I go to the website. Course, how can I earn money on Facebook? Okay, as a creator, you're an important part of our content ecosystem. Get to know the 3 main tools Facebook has built to help you help creators like you generate revenue from your videos. Check your monetization eligibility status. So I think I did that, and none of my pages are eligible. After your page is approved, learn how to set up your account to start receiving your earnings. So I think that's the problem. Like I don't. Well, let me see. I keep reading these things, and I can never find the way to actually be monetized. I think it only works if you've got like millions of followers. Let's see. Eligibility. Ways to monetize. Ad breaks, fan subscriptions, branded content. Include ads in your videos. Ad breaks help you earn money. Your earnings are determined. But I'm not eligible, I think is the point. And then get started with check your eligibility. So I'm not eligible. I don't know what the eligibility is. Oh, wait. Oh, and then it gives you a quiz. You manage a fitness page that publishes 3 new videos a week. About 75% of them are over 3 minutes. Each of these videos typically receives 30 to 50,000 views. So you're feeling confident. It's a good time to start monetizing your page. Which monetization tool would be a good option for your page? I'm going to click on ad breaks and say submit. Sorry, that's incorrect. Okay, let's try. Oh, maybe it's all of the above. Submit. Yes, that's correct. So branded content, ad breaks, and fan subscriptions. But I don't have enough, I don't know, followers or views. I think you have to have a certain number of views on videos over 2 minutes long. Okay, so subscription pages, best for pages with large active following, creators and interested in offering exclusive bonus content. Okay, so that would be people, it says fan subscriptions allow the audience that cares most about your page to directly fund it through monthly recurring payments that you set. Identify supporters by the special badge. Okay, and then ad breaks, best for longer videos, content that is suitable for your earnings are determined. Okay, and then branded content, generate revenue by publishing content that features or is influenced by a business partner. Brands want to work with creators like you and their audiences. To make this easier, safer, and more impactful, we created for both parties, we created a tool, the Brands Collabs Manager, that enables you to find and connect with each other. And then to use Brand Collabs Manager, you need to apply. Okay, so I guess I can try all of that. But the problem is I don't have enough views or anything on Facebook yet. I haven't treated it like a show. I just started.
So just on this point, and I'm going to keep bringing you back on this. What you're doing is you're making Facebook your middleman to your revenue stream.
Yeah.
So and they're going to put advertisers on your videos, which will probably click off your videos to them, right? So you've ruined any kind of revenue stream that you may have set up directly. Those advertisers, you don't really have control over what they're saying, so you may not even agree with their content or presentation or length of the ad. Some advertisers just go on forever. So here's where it sounds crazy and it sounds way too logical, but you need to align with your own advertisers. Take control of your own advertisers. That's the start. You don't go through a middleman. I mean, a perfect example is, YouTube, what they're doing. They've demonetized channels that have been on for 11 years with over 200 videos. They just decided one day to demonetize it, and as you said, destroy the person's business because they put their, life, their business in the hands of another entity like YouTube. So if YouTube just decides to take a totally different tack, which they do, you're out of business without any say. So people need to understand that social media companies are only there so that they promote your website, where you have control over your website and your advertisers. That's the number one. Another good thing, interesting to know about YouTube, is that they also say, you can also subscribe to YouTube to watch your videos, but now they have control over your subscriber list. And people that have had thousands and thousands of subscribers, YouTube has just deleted them on people.
Yeah, and that's what all these YouTubers I watch, they keep saying, hey, everybody, remember to resubscribe, because for some reason all our subscribers are being taken off. And I think it's also the type of people I watch. I tend to watch a lot of these, it's my new thing, sort of conservative pundits or people who aren't politically correct. And it's not even that they're conservative or hateful or anything.
A different narrative that doesn't align with YouTube's. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just a bit it's not exactly the liberal, politically correct narrative. And even just talking about Star Wars and how they've ruined it. Well, that's controversial now because it's got a woman lead, so you're not allowed to say anything bad about Star Wars. So any videos I watch, they're all getting demonetized. They're all losing their subscribers. It's scary. And even if you had subscribers, I know people that some guy I met at YouTube Space, I think I mentioned this, like he gets millions of views for Star Wars videos, but he makes maybe $3,000 a month, which is good or whatever, but it's definitely a full-time job. It takes him a month to make one of these 20-minute Star Wars videos, and then of course imagine how much YouTube is making on this if they're giving him that. And so that's what I was doing the math on my Amazon affiliate thing. I realized, if they pay like 1% commission, if I sell $1 million worth of stuff through my clicks, I'll get $10,000. And the odds of me selling $1 million, so even if I do really well, it's a small amount.
And if you sell $1 million, you want to at least have 5 million. Or I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You want to at least have 500,000. At least. So
I'd have to sell $100 million worth of product to make $1 million.
Yeah, that's right. And you still be working really hard for them, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, here's so the key again, and because social media companies know this really well, they need to get people giving them content to survive. Okay, so keep that in mind, because when you get people giving you content, then it grows your website. And again, keep this in mind, social media companies, you can hear the helicopters. I'm in California and the fires.
Oh, right.
And so like all night there's helicopters, dumping water on fireplaces. So it's real.
Yeah, well, you got to check it on Facebook and mark yourself as safe in the fires. That's what everybody's doing. So.
Yeah. But I can't make money from that, so I'm not going to do it.
True, exactly. Screw that.
So that's what they're doing. It's the eyes wide shut thing we've got to deal with. So these social media companies have determined and know very well that people need to give them content, and they spend millions of dollars convincing you to give them your content. So that's one thing you've got to keep really strongly in the back of your mind. And the other thing is that they don't make money by saying, buy my CD, my book, my course, my anything. None of them say that. It's all lead based. So that's the other thing you need to keep in mind. A third thing is that they have control over their advertisers. They have a direct relationship. They don't have a middleman that can determine their future. Okay?
Right.
And another thing is that they have control over their own email list. Facebook emailed you, right? They have control over that. Nobody can say, oh, you can't email this person anymore. And that's when you give control over to Facebook, I mean, not Facebook, YouTube, all of a sudden you don't have control over your business. So I would say as we continue on, think of yourself, your website platform, as your own social media website. So just sort of keep that in mind. And, go by the idea that it's nice to have people contributing content. Let's look at lead revenue generation. Let's look at getting my own direct advertisers where I have control over it, where nobody can tell me what to do, and I have control over my own email list. So those are all really key factors. So let's go on to the next one. I'm going to just stop this video, recall you, and then we'll start again.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is talk about more ways not to make money online.
I've got an endless amount. Who was I talking to? I think a friend today saying I'd probably run out, and she was like, no, I don't think you're ever going to run out of ways you've lost money online. I'm like, it's true. There's always a new one every day.
There really, really is. I've seen so many people, and they're not even sure what the guru is presenting to them, but they know the guru has made a lot of money, so it's got to be right.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you go to seminars now, I actually stand at the end of the seminar between the back room where everybody's selling these courses and the herds of people running to buy these courses, just to interfere with their mindset for a bit, because they've just had about an hour and a half of NLP and hypnosis plummeted at them. And they are almost like zombies saying, I have to buy this or I will not be successful. And they do NLP and hypnosis, and they're very good at it right now. Very good at it. A lot of Tony Robbins followers and coaches and counselors that have been, graduated, they know NLP upside down and backwards, and they know hypnosis upside down and backwards. So when you get to one of these seminars, you will more than likely be a subject of hypnosis to buy their products. And once you buy their products, it will sit on your shelf and never be opened, but it will give you the feeling that you've actually done something, which is insane. But it even works on me, and I know this stuff, and I find myself wanting to buy that product and just walking out of the room and walking outside and just saying, I can probably find this stuff online.
Yeah. Okay, so I just Googled NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, a pseudoscientific approach to communication, personal development, and psychotherapy created by Richard Bandler and John Grider in California in the 70s. Okay, so it's the way they're talking to you. Yeah, well, there's a woman, was it Amy Porterfield, I think? I was listening to her podcast for a while, months ago, and what does she teach? She specializes in building online courses, so she sells a course on how to build courses. And I think even she admitted on her show, she's like, listen, if you Google this stuff and you could find it all online. It's all out there. It's just, what you're paying her for is to save the time and have somebody who's done it sort of distill it and tell you what's best and whatever. So I mean, maybe that's with a lot of this stuff. Like you could spend 20 years trying to figure it out on your own, or you could buy their course. So I guess that's valid, but it's also whether the information is useful. Like you're saying, like all these people who worked hard for decades and built their businesses, maybe there isn't a way to reproduce that without doing that thing. There's no shortcut. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to, create a multi-million-dollar real estate company, or people in the real estate field that are working with that probably would be doing it. So you've got to throw some common sense at it and just step back and really think. And anything that you get involved in to make money, you really need to throw 100% in. And that's where you've got to, if you're going to do that, you really have to align what you like doing, what your talents are, to reflect the revenue stream. And if you feel comfortable and focused on that, with probably an edge of helping people out, then you got it made, which is, this conversation you and I are having about, how not to make money is actually going to help people out, because what we'll end up doing is you know, breaking down, the costs for people. So you're going to spend $3,000 on this course to do this. So let's break this down. How much money do you have to earn just to break even? So we'll just talk about a break even point, right?
Right.
So if we just do that, that's going to help people. I mean, even if we talk about people that get, website platforms, they get the website platform. Now they have to figure out, how to do it, or get a webmaster to do it. So a webmaster costs maybe $60 an hour. And then you've got a website. Now you're telling a website master what to do, but you don't even know, your end game. Most people don't know what their end game is in how to generate revenue. So now they're paying. I mean, I just had this one guy that paid somebody $3,000 to build a motorcycle website. And I said, nice motorcycle website. How do you make money? He says, well, I'm just, giving out this information to people. Well, and giving out money too, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
So
very generous.
Yeah, motorcycle website that cost you $3,000. You don't know how you're making money from it, but you're just going to keep paying for the hosting fee.
Yeah. And I hired a girl who built builds websites, I guess a few years ago. I was like, okay, I need to build my joshraklis.com, and I paid her a bit, and then I realized, I don't know, it didn't look like what I thought it would. I'm like, I don't even know if she knows what she's doing. So I just sort of cut it off, and then I didn't have a website for a while. I just started doing WordPress my own, but I've had my blog, for years and years, and it doesn't make any money, and I'm not even sure what the point is. Like, when I started the blog spot years ago, that my joke was, like, my tagline for the website was, I just post this for people who care about my life, and basically that's just my mom, or this is just for my mom to see what I'm up to. That was before Facebook, so I needed a place where my mom could read what I was up to. But yeah, it's not really a joke. Like, nobody really cares. So I mean, for my website, yeah, first of all, I'd love to come up with a topic that people might want to actually look up. Like, my old idea for my website was, when somebody stole joshraklis.com for a few years and was holding it hostage, I got joshraklis.today, and I was like, okay, so that's what it is. This is just what Josh is up to today, which, nobody really cared about. Even if I was super famous, they probably wouldn't care about. And then even if they were caring, I don't know how I would have made money from it. And it's like you say, it is about aligning your interests with a way to make money, because we were just talking, I guess that was our previous episode a few minutes ago, about how I did a call with a stock trading company that I would pay $6,500 US to spend a year spending 3 hours a day at least learning these courses, and maybe it would make money. But the problem is, it's a year of my life, and it's not really my passion. It's not my best use of my skills. Like, stock trading, I guess it's math and research and all this, but my gift to the world is my humor, that I'm able to be funny, and I'm also able to be empathetic and listen to people and talk to celebrities or regular people in the same great way. So it'd be great if I could monetize that in a way, because then every day I would get up and feel like I'm working towards my purpose, and also hopefully making money from it, not spending a year thinking, okay, maybe I can learn to trade stocks, and then in 10 years I'll make a few $1,000s from it or something. So it's a combination of what are you spending your money and your time on.
So on that, and let me just talk to you about blogs and interviewing people for an example, because I get a lot of people with, I mean, bloggers are the poorest people on the planet.
Yeah.
Because they spend a lot of time creating content. Again, they're going directly against the companies that make money online. You do not create your own content, because actually people don't care about your own content. They don't. They care about their content. So let's just pretend that you have a website and somebody gives you content. You put that content on your website, and then you send that link to that person saying, look, I've just featured your content. That person will be so excited that Celebrity Josh featured their content that they would probably email it to everybody that they know, if you ask them to do that. and then they would go back to the Josh website where their content is, and probably people would enter in more content so that you could feature their content. The key is when they're entering content is just basically saying, hey, by the way, do you want me to send you back leads? Do you have a business? Do you have any reason that you would want to connect with the people that's reading your information? And 40% of the people would say, yeah. And where they wouldn't say yeah is where you could probably send leads to companies that you've already made an arrangement with, your own direct advertisers. So, even interviews, you're interviewing somebody. I don't interview anybody if they don't want business, because it goes really against the grain. The person that's listening to the interview is getting really excited and needing help for that, but there's no place to go. So they have to go somewhere else, and someone else is making money from giving them the information. So it's, again, insane.
Yeah. So as an example of people sharing things, like a few weeks ago in Ottawa, my dad and I went for breakfast, and then I walked across the street. I was like, oh, there's a farmer's market. And then I wandered into a building, and there was something called MILOG, which I don't know what it stands for, but it was the Latin American Women Entrepreneurs of Ottawa Gatineau. And and I always have my mic with me and my phone, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just interview some people. So I randomly talked to a real estate agent guy that was there, and then I interviewed a woman who was selling plants. Like, she makes these little soil balls with plants coming out of it and stuff. And yeah, I filmed two, and then I walked past her later. She's like, oh my God, I won an award today. So I interviewed her again. And so I posted on Facebook, and then I could see it was shared 18 times. Like, I think by her, she shared it on her own Facebook page and then in other Facebook pages. So it got shared a lot. She loved it. She was really excited about my little interview. So, I mean, that's an example that people would share it. So, but it was just a video I uploaded directly to Facebook. So there's no way for me to monetize that. It would have been, I guess, better to put it on my own, like I put it on YouTube and then put it on my own website and then send her a link, and then she would share that.
No. What you do is you should have taken that interview, put it on your website, asked her if, if I could, if I send you leads, will you pay me $1 per lead?
Mm-hmm.
Created the lead tracking software that Income Activator gives you. Send that link to her, so she'd be sharing it, and people would see it, and every time they click to get to her, maybe it would cost $1, but and then
do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think people like that would be interested, like a woman who sells plants, like sort of crafts and plants? Because I know a lot of the people you talk to in your examples are like, I don't know, lawyers would or I don't know, accountants. I don't know what best types of businesses to send leads to would be. Like,
it's a very simple process. Income Activator, the website platform, has trackable links, like Google's pay-per-click ads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so trackable links where if you click on it, you can assign whatever, revenue model you want, whether it's, 5 cents or $1 or whatever. And people that have products are best for that because it's a very low-end product line. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of follow-up, buy my junk or not, right?
Right.
So the unique thing about Income Activator's pay-per-click is that anytime someone clicks on it, they also get an email saying someone from your website just clicked, someone from Josh's website just clicked to your website to look at your product. So they have, they have an awareness saying, oh, okay, thank you, Josh, for sending me someone.
Right.
So the pay-per-click are best for sales, like light sales like that. The referral forms where people put in their name, phone number, email, and request are best for services like, Josh just interviewed you about, you're a chiropractor and you could do this, or you're a hypnotherapist and you can do that. Okay, more fires. Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, so, for services, it's best that way. And every service company, whether it's company like a spa or whatever, they basically know what they pay, Google per click, and they just get the click. So let's say they paid Google $10 per click. You're giving them actually a name, email, phone number, and a request. So, you could easily double that or even keep it at $10. Doesn't matter because it's information that just keeps running all the time. It's always found online. It's always producing revenue. We've been talking a lot about how not to make money online. And you are going to continue this amazing series because it's really important to people to not waste their time, because there's a lot of companies. There's the social media site saying, come and give us your content and you can make money online. There's gurus saying, buy our $3,000 courses and that'll teach you how to make money online. There's all kinds of apps you can join, that are, you do something for 10 cents or 20 cents and you're never going to make money online from there, but it sounded good. And it sounded like, it's
I'm doing it all. And and the thing is, once you start going down that path, like once I started watching Ty Lopez's videos or I watch his full commercials online, then, now YouTube knows I like that kind of thing. So all these gurus now show up in my feed. So I'm seeing all their videos and they're all like, here's, what is this one guy? He dresses up in funny costumes and he films stuff in his house, like coming out of the bushes, like out of his house plants, like, I'm an explorer, I'm looking for ways to make money. Or there's this other guru guy that's like, I'm just sitting in my Lamborghini because it's an example of like, if you want to start an online business, would you want a Toyota or would you want the Lamborghini of online businesses? And I mean, there's so many of these, and obviously that's how they're making money, by offering the courses. And it is, and I'm so tempted. Like, it's like, I'm just like, maybe $2,000, maybe this is the answer.
Exactly. Let's talk about that. When you throw $2,000 at something, how many times? Okay, I'll talk about my personal experience. How many times I've thrown $2,000, $5,000, $14,000 at something and has done absolutely no good for me. It was mainly because of hope. I was lost. I wanted something, that was going to get me, started or give me a promotion that I didn't feel I could do on my own. I paid Jack friggin' Canfield 14 grand to be at his house, and, for inspiration and help. And I got zero out of it. And he basically told me, get someone else to market your program, pay them if you can't make this a success, and I get, really? I just paid you 14 grand and you told me, that I was lousy at marketing my own company, Mr. Took you 20 years to get chicken soup and you lived on chicken soup for 20 years before, you hit that,
Wow.
mark, everybody goes through this thing. So
even people come to me, actually. Like, I got a message yesterday on Facebook from a woman saying, hey, my husband wants to get into voice acting. I see you're a voice acting coach. Can you tell me how? And almost every day somebody else asks me how to get into voice acting, because people see that as, hey, Josh is doing it. It must be easy. I've got a voice. And so I've been trying to figure out how to monetize that too. I've messaged a few of these voice instructors saying, hey, I don't think I've heard back from anyone. Actually, one time there was the place that offers voice classes, and they said they would give me a commission, like $50 or something, if I sent a student. So I sent one person. And I think once they were like, well, this is a sketchy one, because I think maybe the person heard about them from someone else too, but they still gave me the commission. But it's not easy. But I was just trying to think, like, okay, do I want to spend all my time coaching people on how to do this? The other problem is I do use a certain site that I pay $400 US for a year to be able to do my auditions. And so I was talking to their affiliate person. I said, okay, well, if I refer people to you guys, like, is there a way to get a commission? Because rather than me just telling people, hey, use this site, because that would be almost the extent of my coaching. And they're like, well, you don't really meet our standards, because I don't do a YouTube just about voice acting. Like, I just do all my other YouTubing, and I would be like, oh, and by the way, there's this. And so they want specifically people who have a voice acting audience to be their affiliate. So I can't even offer to bring them business. So I don't even know now how to coach people, because I don't want to just send people their way without getting a cut, because then what the heck am I doing? Or if I say, okay, for $100, I'll tell you how to get into voice acting, then I feel like, oh my God, I just gave them the full career for the rest of their life for $100. It seems like not worth my time either. So I keep thinking I should write like a 1-page Amazon booklet and then sell that for $10, like how to get into voice acting. I just never sit down to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's definitely ways of monetizing that, and that would be probably a really good thing just to send basically leads to yourself on something that's automated.
Yeah, and I think
I
that's
mean,
the only way to do it, like just to make it worth my time, because otherwise I'm
yeah,
hustling for, $75 an hour or whatever it is, and
yeah,
it's I only have so much time in the day. Yeah.
yeah. I think that would be a really good thing because if you do have that information at hand and people obviously want it, to attach it to a short video and a price point that will allow people to get the information without them having to pay, you know, hundreds of dollars to go in another route, which they will probably end up doing. So it would probably give them information, and then save the money down, along that line. So that is definitely a worthwhile thing to do
Oh
because
yeah.
now, yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
because now you've given people information, you've made a recommendation, which was a lead to yourself, and yourself selling some good information that will help people and giving them a value so that they can pay less to get the information and then make a valuable decision whether to move forward or how to move forward. That's a really, really good scenario. You
Yeah,
know,
because especially people have often messaged me and they're like, "Listen, I just spent $1,000 on this scam talent agency, and can you help me? Can you help me get into acting?" And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Now you want this for free from me, but you gave somebody else $1,000 bucks, so it's frustrating to me. And I know that I could help people just even not get scammed. It would be worth their time. I guess I've always been wondering, well, how can I monetize? Like, what do I do with this video? Like, where do I put it that I can charge for it? And then I've been even there's all these teaching sites like Thinkific or whatever that asked. I even got an email from one saying, "Hey, we notice you're a copywriter. We need copywriter lessons." But then they were like, "Yeah, make this class, make a series of videos or whatever." And then, some of our top teachers make $2,000 a month or something. And it seemed like it was something like that because it was like enough that I was, or not enough for me to go, "Wow, that's a living." I was like, "Well, that's a lot of work, and that's only their top instructors." And then it would be not even that much money. So I'm like, ugh, maybe I shouldn't be on these teaching sites. But yeah, it's like you're saying, if there was a way, either it's on my Amazon page or I guess if you get your own clients, just say message me and I'll send you the PDF of my book, and that way there's no middleman. I don't know.
well, yeah, and that's sort of the okay, but if you just send them your book, that's without them, um, you're saying send the book that will cost them money or send
Yeah,
them a,
yeah. I just mean instead
yeah.
of Amazon, maybe I say, here, send
Yes,
me ten
definitely.
dollars.
Yes, you've got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you're thinking. You keep everything in your control, Okay.
right.
So that you can either send yourself a lead, or you can send a lead to other companies, or create a really good partnership with a company. So if we go back to again, um, let's look at making money online,
Yeah.
okay? And let's look at your talents,
Mm.
okay? So um, obviously, people, if they're going to be making money online, they're going to need a website platform. That's a given, okay? So
I
we,
guess so, because a lot of people, and that's a good question, because I'm in all these podcast, Facebook groups, and a lot of people are like, do I need do, do I need a website? And then it's a common question. People are like, no, I just have a Facebook page or whatever. But yeah, I guess you do need a website to be able to make money. Otherwise, what are you doing?
exactly, no, and even the fact that they're asking, do I need a website, speaks at the control the social media companies have to getting other people to give them content, to put their content on their website. Do you see?
Right.
You
Yeah,
see?
because everybody always says, "Oh, you can make a Facebook page. It's free. It's your business. It's. I've seen
Well,
gurus or people say that. Yeah.
it's not their business. It's Facebook's business.
Right. Because
It's
yeah,
YouTube's business.
the advantage of Facebook and YouTube is that at least it's a space that people are already on. So if they search it in there, they'll find it. Because otherwise, you'd have to.
That's
But you can use
that
the page to drive people to your own website, I guess, at the end.
that's now you're getting it.
Yeah.
You use the social media platforms as your opportunity to drive people to your website, and that's the key.
Right.
And then there, you know, And that's the battle that you want to engage on, but you need to do that. Social media websites are absolutely fantastic if you use them to drive business to your website platform. They're completely useless for you to try to make money online from them. Maybe there are exceptions to the rule. We're not talking about exceptions. There's always exceptions. I don't want to fight that battle. I want to figure out for people how to generate revenue online, the easiest possible way for them to do it. So you're going to have to establish that if they want to actually have an online business, they should have a website. But a lot of people think, okay, I got a website, I got a Wix website, I got a WordPress website. I'm not making money. I've never made money on my website. Well, hola, it's because you never had any revenue streams and you just didn't do it properly. Again, it's so eyes wide shut. What are the media companies do? What are the big money companies doing? And they're not selling buy my courses, buy my t-shirts, buy my whatever. They're all based on lead revenue. Google, if you look at Google, their homepage is a search bar. The search bar sends leads to companies. That's it. Biggest multi-million, billion-dollar company on the planet. Homepage is a search bar.
I remember when Google came out, like, when was it, 20 years ago or something? I remember looking at the page going, that's really simple. It's just a white page, very clean. I should have invested at the time. I was like, it's better than Yahoo, but it almost seemed too simple. I'm like, oh, this can't go anywhere. But then, it obviously did.
Because it had a focus.
I guess I'm not a programmer. I go back like, why didn't I invent Google? Why didn't I invent Facebook?
Well, but I guess you have Google on your website. You've got a search bar too.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You have a search bar too. Just that Google has done it right, and you haven't. You put all your content on other people's websites, and you're expecting to make money from it.
Mm-hmm. And even when I was making money, when I was monetized on YouTube, it was $10 a month or something. Like it's nothing.
So if you're going to put your content on other people's websites, don't expect to make money from it. Maybe that's their topic we have to do. If you're giving away your content to people and expecting to make money from it, that's pretty crazy.
And I guess most people are just happy to share their content. Here's a picture of my family. Hey, everyone. Like, a lot of people aren't thinking I want to make money from this.
We're talking your advantage. That's your advantage, because the social media companies have spent billions of dollars convincing people that it's good to share their content. So invite people to share their content on your website platform.
Right.
That's how you increase your traffic, your reach of traffic.
Do you think there are people, because you talk a lot about, make your own social media page kind of thing. I mean, is it possible for a regular person who's not famous like me to build a site that people would want to share content on or visit? Or does it have to be on a topic that, because I keep thinking, okay, maybe I need to do a travel tip website or
But you're not staying consistent with your business model, and you're jumping all around, just trying to find that magic, wand.
Yeah, because I keep thinking, like, if I want a radio show or a TV show, it's got to be on a topic that would lend itself to a sponsor. Okay, if I'm talking about travel, okay, maybe a travel agency would sponsor me or something.
So let's try to hone in on this again, because we have spent a long time talking about strategies that don't work.
Yeah.
With you, because that's it. You can throw another 20 things at me, and you can try them, and they're not going to work. Because you're saying, what about cars? What about real estate? What about dogs? What about, like, stop.
Oh, speaking of dogs, can I tell you one quick story? I signed up for it's a website called Rover, which is, it's kind of like the Airbnb of dog walkers or dog sitters. So and I got my first email yesterday from a woman who wants me to dog sit in Chelsea, Quebec, I think. That seems to be where her profile is. So I don't know. I'll have to Google where that is. And she wants somebody like mid-December and then Christmas to New Year's. And it would be like $580, but it's like 5 cats and 2 dogs. And she wants somebody who's going to spend a lot of time with them. And I'm like, oh, I thought this was going to be my magic answer to, stay with people and take care of their dogs, which I love. But it's not that much money. And you'd also have to get to this place. and you can't go anywhere over the holidays or whatever. So another way that maybe it's not the best way to make money online.
Yeah, and you're not even making money online. You just answered an online ad. And okay, so let's just talk about that there. You got a blank website. You're inviting people to give you, you know, information on regard to, dog sitting. People need dog sitters and cat sitters.
Yep.
And then you're sending them back leads. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I keep on talking about. You want to have the biggest taxi company in the world, and you invite people to give you their cars, and then you send them back leads. That's Uber,
oh yeah, no, all these sites, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Everybody's doing that. So I got to crack this code for you. It's
yeah. I interviewed this guy in Ottawa. He's a big entrepreneur. Last Christmas or New Year's Day, I think I interviewed him, and he invented a site called Ruckify, which is his daughter came up with the name. It means like sharing or something in Swedish or something. But yeah, basically it's the Airbnb of things. So you're supposed to post anything you have. If you've got a camera or a phone or a pair of boots or anything people might want to rent by the day, you post that. And then, so I don't know if it's outside of Ottawa yet, but that's, he's hoping to be the big site, or people would use the site as well if they have surfboards, and then you could use the site to rent them out on the beach or whatever. So it's another example of, basically
using other people's content and sending back leads. Because that's one way of doing it. And it's a very effective way. Yeah. So we have established the fact that if you're going to have an online business, it's good to have a website. Are we agreed to that?
Yes. I mean, that's what I've read is always like, that's your website is like your store. It's like your property. Like, in the old days you'd have a store, but now you have a website, and also you need the control of it. Cause I mean, Amazon could take down your store at any time. Facebook, YouTube, they could just decide, we're taking you off. Like, you have to have your own thing for sure.
And even WordPress is getting into censorship. WordPress has 60 million websites. They've deleted, without notice, over 3 million websites right now because these websites haven't followed what they consider their narrative, whether it happens to be political, religious, or medical-wise. So if you have, if you're a naturalist, saying that, try this SACT or whatever it happens to be, they don't like it, they will delete your website. It's horrid what they're doing.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's a big deal. I think they're trying to destroy their own marketplace, quite honestly, because why would you put your content on the WordPress website right now if it's actively censoring your content and deleting websites? It's insane.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people don't know the difference. But it's not even that WordPress is that easy. Like, every time I've tried it, there's all these plugins, and it's never quite working, and I have to keep calling support with my hosting company. So it's not like it's this great thing that's so easy. It's like, all right, it's worth the trouble. And if they're also censoring and taking things down, it's like, you're really at their mercy.
Yeah, and Wix is really, really bad too, because people believe that selling things online is the way to go, and with its store, it limits you to your products and then starts upselling you, and you have to pay more and more per product, and that's insane. And GoDaddy, I just tell people, just say no to GoDaddy, because they're the king of upselling. I mean, a friend of mine was trying to buy a domain name for $12, and I was listening to the call, and he didn't know anything about, domain names or websites. He was up to $499 before I grabbed the phone and said, stop it. Stop it. You guys are evil.
That's true. Every time I buy, they're like, okay, do you want it for more years? Do you want our security? Do you want do you want privacy so people don't know your name and all this stuff? And you're like, you want the best. What was I signing up for the other day? It was like, do you want premium exposure? I don't.
Okay, so let's just continue on with that. So we've established the fact that you do need a website. Now, through Income Activator, what I've tried to do is I've tried to create a website platform with all the revenue streams and hosting included. So people can do their own pay-per-click lead base, their own leads through referrals where they send the company the person's name, email, phone number, and request. That's the way that, Angie's List does it, or Home Advisor. Then fully functional online store, fully functional membership tracking software. So it's got everything included, autoresponders, email messaging, like everything you can imagine, hosting for a flat fee, so you're not upselling. So the flat fee is like a flat $60 a month. And then what I've done is I've also turned it around saying, look, you can also have this website platform for free if you refer two people to get their website through you, two people. So now you've got a fully functional website with all the software you need that you can edit yourself, and you never have to pay for it because you've brought on two people.
We haven't even talked about on.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So that's okay. I'm just going to talk right over you.
Okay.
And so this is a good platform. I've spent almost $1 million into promoting this website platform for two reasons. One, I know that 1% of traffic buys, and that you can actually turn about 40% of your traffic into revenue from leads if you've got a targeted niche, but at least you've got the same software that's used by Google and Facebook and Angie's List and Pinterest and Home Advisor and, all the big money companies that send leads to their own advertisers. You are now in possession of that same tracking software, so you can compete with the big money companies. And I think the big money companies never gave you that software because they didn't want you to intrude on their advertisers. They wanted to give you a little piece of it maybe, but they wanted control, and they convinced you never to go after your own advertisers. So you've been done a complete injustice, but we're going to turn the tables around and say, okay, now you can compete and do the same kind of promotion with your own advertisers through lead revenue as the big money companies. And you can also have your own online store and your own membership programs and do whatever you want to do without, again, being upsold at every turn. And that's what the website platforms are doing, like WordPress and GoDaddy and Wix. And, you want this? Oh, it's an extra $10. You want this? Oh, it's an extra $50. You want this? Oh, it's an extra, and now you're hundreds of dollars a month on a revenue platform. And even if you say to somebody, get a Wix platform, they're not going to give you any credit for that. So I think we've got a really nice platform where we can help people, give them all a ready-to-go website with all the revenue software they need, allow them to have that website for free by just referring two people, and get them part of the eye-opening thing that maybe if I tell people where to go, I can make money from it. If I have a niche thing. Now, I want to get back straight to you, okay?
Yeah.
You are an advertising guru. You do, and you do comedy, you do songs, you write copy. You've done everything you want to do.
Yep.
So people hire you to do this, to promote their product or business, and you're good at it.
Yeah.
So let's run an experiment. Let's take your strengths of what you do, okay? Let's profile you of what you do, and what you do also is tell people what not to do online, which is brilliant. And let's get 100 people to join our group through you on how to make money online and how to not make money online by grabbing their income activator website. And let's use, whether you're singing, whether you're doing a joke about it, whether you're, whatever your skill set is, because it's vast, and that people could mirror your skill set because you seem to have it all. You know, people have copywriting skills. You have that. People have singing skills. You have that. People have comedy skills. You have that. You can
cartooning and all of this. When I was working at Leo Burnett, top ad agency in Canada, they kept saying, "Hey, Josh, could you write a stand-up act and incorporate bounce fabric softener?" And it's like, so I would do that. Or they'd say, "Hey, could you make a short film for the Procter and Gamble group meeting?" Okay, I'll do that. Hey, we need a fun cartoon for this beer calendar. Can you do that? And so hey, you've got the good voice. You can be the voice of Zellers on the radio, or you can act in this Kellogg's commercial. So I was doing all of that, and it's very rare. They would know, here's the guy to go to. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, there's got to be, and I was the go-to guy. Like, they sent me to Japan twice to help an ad agency there that was having trouble coming up with ideas for Procter and Gamble. They would, they'd be like, "Oh, we need names for the new detergent, for Gain detergent, the new scent. Josh is our guy. He'll come up with 1,000 things." So, yeah, like I can do all that, and that's
let's do it. Let's do it for you.
Yeah.
And let's do it for the people that have gone through the nightmare that you've gone through.
Yeah.
So now we've got the helping people through promotion for your own online business. And again, online businesses always start with a website platform. Give the people the right website platform. And this website platform, if let's target at getting 100 people through your single ability to promote through various channels.
Yeah.
Let's just focus, let's bury down and get you your first 100 people. So it gives you a monthly income of $3,000.
Yeah.
If we just do that, that's good enough, because you don't actually have to do anything from that 3,000, that's just guaranteed month after month after month.
Yeah.
So with all your abilities to promote, focused on, saving some souls on this endless online thing, whereby even if somebody just gets an income activator platform and just wants to promote like you, from saying, hey, you can get a WordPress platform that has no revenue software, that's censoring people and deleting their websites. You can get a Wix platform that keeps upselling you, or a GoDaddy platform. I mean, even if you say, hey, just simply do what I'm doing, which is just promoting the fact that you need a website to have a website business, you can do the same thing, and let's lead on that. And and let's take back, control over the website. Use your skills in promotion to show other people how to promote.
Yeah, now, I like it. And people even come, I mean, my friend Luana's been coming to me for months saying, "Listen, I'm trying to start my spa business," and she's spending all her time on the phone with some web developer, and I'm like, you don't even have a business yet. And your website, you're spending all your time trying to build this website. It's not working. So people are coming to me for advice every day, like, how do I do this? Or even the former leader of the Green Party messaged me on Facebook, said, "Hey, you're verified on Facebook. How do you do that?" And I was like, I haven't gotten back. So I'm like, well, I want to, I figured out all this stuff on my own. I want to sell it. I want to be able to say, oh, for $10 you can buy my book about how to get verified on Facebook or something. I'm going off on a tangent, but people do come to me. They know I can do these things, and hopefully I can help them. I don't want to be someone who says, well, I mean, unless you can sing and draw and act like me, there's nothing you can do. Like, I know how to market things, and whatever their skill is, and whatever their passion is, they can do it too. They can have their website and be promoting that. And it's fun, even if it never made money, it's still fun to have a website that does stuff. And even a Shopify store is going to cost you at least $100 a month with the Shopify software. I watched so many videos in the summer about drop shipping. I was like, what does that mean? That's how everybody's making money. And I realized, oh my God, it's literally paying $100 or $200 a month for a Shopify store, and then just buying things, finding links from China and then posting on your site and hoping people will buy the crap from your site instead of for cheaper on the Chinese website. I was like, really? That's it? But then people are selling courses on how to do this, as well. So
I know, and it's draining people's financial situations incredibly. It's horrible. So so I think we are, perfectly positioned to drive, people into, if they want to start their own online business, if they're serious about it, they can do it two ways. They can grab the Income Activator website and just promote that, like you're doing, to make a monthly, regular, stable income. I wouldn't promote it if it's not making me a monthly, stable, regular income. I put $1 million into it because I know that this is what is needed. And there's nobody that can compete with this. The reason being, they're not giving you the lead software. They just keep it for themselves. So,
and the lead software is what I need too, because that's what I've been doing my own little leads thing. Like how did I meet this guy? Oh yeah, here's a quick story. In the summer, I guess it was a couple of years ago now, I saw a woman post on Facebook, where can I get custom matchbooks printed? And so I thought, okay, I'm going to find a business to refer to her. So I Googled every printing place in Toronto. I messaged them all. I'm like, if I bring you business, can I have a commission? This one guy got back, is an Israeli guy, and he's like, hey, you seem really creative. We should talk on the phone. Or I was like, well, I can come and meet you. So he said, yeah, I'll give you a commission if you bring me business. So I would mention in the bottom of my YouTube videos saying, oh, by the way, what is this place called? Arctic, ARTIK. Use Arctic printing. And if you mention Celebrity Josh sent you, you get $25 off your order. And that was it. I just put in a couple of videos. And actually, a couple of times their accountant called me and said, oh, we owe you $300 or we owe you $200. I'm like, well, wow, it actually worked. But there's no way for me to track these things. And there was no easy way for me to say, to have it on my website. It's sort of like, I hope that people mention me. I hope that the company remembers to do this. So I've kind of got my own little lead thing, or I'll message, this other thing I have with a cleaning company now. Like I say, okay, if you go to Jeffrey the butler and say that Josh Rackless sent you, you'll get a special deal. But again, I'm hoping that they remember to mention whatever. It's if there was a way to do it so that people click on it and my referral is sent and it sends an invoice, it's like everything that you've set up. Yeah.
It's paid immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that's the way to go. So I think that, you wanted to promote yourself. You want your own thing. You also want to tell people the nightmare that you've gone through with all the things you've tried.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, let's take your skill set, promote, basically, how not to make money online.
Yep.
And if you actually do want to make money online, let's start you with a website platform that has everything that you can actually get for free if you want to.
Yeah.
And then let's start taking people's scenarios. They get the website platform, help them out, help direct them.
Yeah.
Whether it's promoting the Income Activator website or promoting to a niche and getting lead revenue. If somebody says to you, well, I want to just put all my content on Facebook, we can address that for them and say, good luck to you. Done it. Won't work.
Yeah.
And let's, turn things around for people so that they don't go through the nightmare that you are presently going through without any kind of hope for a stable, income that you can build upon.
Do you think it would be worth, once we get this going, do we start a Facebook group, sort of where all the people who have the websites, we can compare notes or we can give them advice or something? I know people do that.
We can do all that. Let's get them onto your website to get their own website.
Yeah.
Because that in itself is the first step, because then now they've got a website that has all the software included with the hosting, with the ability that if they wish to never have to pay for a website, refer to people and help give direction, help, let them know, how they get, how they promote either their own business or, the Income Activator business, or just, going from there. But I don't want to go too deep on any kind of levels. The whole idea is that, Josh wants to work for Josh. everybody wants to work for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen that you want to work online. You want to work at any time from anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So Josh wants to work for Josh. Josh wants to work wherever he can, whenever he can, using the skill sets that he has.
Yeah.
And he wants to help people also do that too. He wants to help people.
Yeah.
So you start, like anybody, with a business, an online business, and then we go from there. So Josh may say, okay, grab your website. Maybe you want to create a directory. Maybe as I'm doing this promotion to tell people they've got to start with a website, and they may as well start with something that works. Maybe I will create a directory online. Maybe I will go into how to set up the perfect website page with, the 4 top revenue streams. Maybe I will tell the people how to do that.
Yeah.
But you've got to start an online business with a platform that has revenue streams.
Right.
And you, as you were saying, that for the person with spa, they're doing it backwards again.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a revenue stream.
Yeah, like I don't know, she can rent a room when she wants, but doesn't have any customers yet, and so she's spending her time. What's she doing? She's having contests on Instagram. I'm like, okay, but you want Instagram followers for what? You don't even you don't have any customers. I think I don't know. I don't know what she's doing, but she's spending all her time trying to perfect this website that I don't know how anybody's ever going to find it or whatever. But it's frustrating to me because I know there are so many people that want to do this, that want to make income online, and I've seen tons of women, like they sign up for Arbonne or Herbal Life or whatever all these sort of multi-level marketing schemes are,
sales,
and I don't know, maybe some people make money from this, but I feel like a lot of it is you have to pay to buy these products and you hope to sell it. And if we could just channel all that passion and enthusiasm and time that they're spending and say, well, here's a way to actually make money from it, it would be great. We'd be really helping people because so many people want this. And even my aunt, she's trying to figure out ways to make money. She took an entrepreneurial course in Ottawa a few years ago, and her idea, she called her website yourlocalart.com, and it was to find local artists and offer prints of their art. So you'd go to the website and you could get poster versions of local artists. And I don't think it ever went anywhere. She just stopped doing it because for whatever reason, but she really wants to do something. And she's got these DVDs on investing from the library. And so we watched a couple together. Like she has the passion. She's a smart woman. She's an artist. And I would love to help people like this just sort of focus and not waste their money on things and just be able to promote it. Because I mean, even if there was some business I could do with her, and she's got a few hours a day, I could say, here, help me with this, and I do love helping people, and I want to.
I know you do, and that's why it's every essence of my being focusing you on you to start.
Yeah, and so I started yesterday finally. Like I did a video where I just for 20 minutes I read the CNN headlines and gave my little thoughts on the day's news, and then I did another 10-minute one this morning just to feel like I'm doing something, like I've started my morning show. But if I have my website or some kind of income stream, I could be, hey, and it's brought to you by joshincomeactivator.com or whatever. Go there and you can build your own website and make money online like I do. Okay, now back to the show. Like at least I could sponsor myself or have something.
That's missing. That's missing again. Right. You're missing it again. You're talking about one thing and promoting another thing.
So my shows should be about how to make money online.
Well, that's what we've been doing over the last few days, talking about how not to make money. So now if you're talking about news, it's a complete disconnect.
Right. So
you got to focus on one thing. And so if you want to do a news station, maybe you should send leads or coordinate with an advertiser that lines up to that. Okay?
Yeah, it's tough with the general comedy that I want to do or talking about the news, or I guess it's tougher to line up with that. Like that doesn't naturally lend itself.
Well, again, you got to pick something. When I was sending
So
leads to car insurance companies, I couldn't talk about, skiing, and I love skiing, and I could not talk about, spas or this or this. I mean, I wouldn't go online and focus my attention on something that isn't focused on the generating revenue. So we have to pick something.
okay.
So we need to pick and